Let's come over to the wall. We'll begin with a peroneal stretch and an anterior delt stretch, bringing your dominant arm into a high V, twisting away from that arm and taking the leg closest to the wall back into a lunge. Internally rotating that leg so that the toe is pigeon-toed, but the leg is turned in from the top of the hip socket. Stretching the outer calf and the front of the shoulder. Breathing into this stretch. Holding it here. Let's breathe together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, bone of the big toe on your front foot is heavy. Exhale, gaze is up higher than eye level. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Shoulders plug down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Shoulder blades pulling together. Keep that going. Make sure you're breathing while you're here. If the arm becomes too much, you can turn, face the wall, demonstrate this, and just stay with the calf stretch with that internal rotation. If the calf and the arm become too much, you can come to the floor. I'm going to show you some variations, and you can begin to roll the calf out with a trigger ball. You can do this lying down, seated, or on your knees, pinning the ball between the calf. So I'll keep demonstrating all of these variations, but you stay here with the wall stretch or any variation you see fit for releasing that outer calf, whether it's rolling or just stretching the calf. We have another 30 seconds or so on this side. Breathing into it. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Let's switch sides, setting up on the second side. Start with that wall V, stepping the leg closest to the wall back into a lunge. From the top of the hip socket, internally rotating the leg. Turning the toe in pigeon-toed. Driving the pelvis forward, heavying the bone of your front leg's big toe. Keeping the gaze up higher than eye level. Shoulders plugged down, shoulder blades pulling together. Low belly in. Chin lifted. Gaze is soft. Use your breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Again, inhale and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Stay here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Option to stay in this or to turn and face the wall and just focus on the calf stretch, stepping the leg we were working back, internally rotating it, continuing to get into the peroneals, or going down to the floor, rolling it out in a lying position, a seated position, or on your knees. I'll demo all these. You do what you see is best for you at this point in time, or what you feel is best for you. And let's finish out this side together with 4 nice inhales and exhales. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Abs in. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. 1 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Wherever you are, we're going to make our way to a rectus abdominis, which is your upper abdominals opener. And we'll do this with our foam roller under the top of our shoulder blades. So I want you to start with it under the top of the shoulder blades, not the bottom, with the hands supporting the head. Tailbone must remain on the floor, so don't pick the butt up into the air. Keep the tailbone down, feet down, hip distance apart and parallel. Arching the upper back over that roller to stretch out the upper fibers of the abdominal wall. Staying here. Plug the shoulders down. Actively press the top of the shoulder blades into that roller, deepening the opening. If this becomes too intense, you can always brace your abs and come out of it and make your way back into it when you're ready. Use your breath here. Make sure you're breathing. Deep inhales and long exhales. Again, inhale and exhale. Let's breathe together. Abs are in. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Deep lift of the lower pelvic floor like you're stopping your stream of pee as you exhale. 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Option to go to the middle of the shoulder blades now to intensify it. Holding in the middle of the shoulder blades, we inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more breath here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Option to go all the way to the base of the shoulder blades, or maybe you've had enough and you want to come out of it. Come into cat and cow. I'll show you cat and cow, but if you can go to the bottom of the shoulder blades and stay here for another 30 seconds, that'd be ideal for intensifying that stretch. If you need cat and cow, honor your body, be where you are. Wherever you are, your abs are in and you're breathing laterally into the side body, that TVA breathing. If you are confused about how to TVA breathe, just take the 10-minute course on level 1 under mind and body about TVA breathing versus belly breathing to contract the deepest layer of your core, which helps alleviate back pain, improve posture, and condition the deepest layer of your abdominal wall. Using the breath here, we're going to slowly come off of that roller, and we're going to make our way now onto our stomachs for a prone twist. Now you may need a prop like a book or a block or a bolster to put under the foot when you come into the twist. Start with your dominant arm, your tighter dominant arm, in a cactus position. The other hand is by the chest. I'm going to turn forward just to show you on my knees what this looks like, but you're lying on your stomach with the hands in these positions. Make sure the arm that's at the right angle, the elbow is right out in line with the shoulder, the other hand's by the chest. Turn the head in the direction towards the hand by the chest. Keep the temple on the side, and the side of the head rather, on the floor at all times. Plug the shoulders down. So the leg on the side of the body where the hand is by the chest is going to lift up, the hips will stack, and you'll reach that thigh back, spiraling back like I'm doing. Now, if your foot is hovering in the air and you can't find the floor, you can always place a block or bolster under it. Brace your abs to do that. Don't lift your head up. Be very careful getting into that position. I'm going to be here for a bit, opening up the front of the shoulder, releasing the hip flexors. So use your breath here. It's important that you do the TVA breathing here, meaning you pull your abs in towards the spine at all times. You direct your inhales into the side body and back, expansively breathing like an opera singer would. Your belly is in to support your low back, and every time you exhale, you lift up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee. So let's keep going with that. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. We inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2. So each exhale is a chance to tug up on the lower pelvic floor, to contract your TVA, and also to take you a little deeper into the stretch. So push yourself to go a little deeper on each exhale. Shoulders plugged down, chin lifted, gaze soft, collarbone wide, low belly in towards the spine. Active lift in and up on the muscles that stop the stream of pee. So with the belly in, all you have to do is lift up on the muscles that stop the stream of pee. You're contracting the deepest layer of your core in doing so. Breathe with me. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. 2 more here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. 1 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Slowly, very slowly make your way back to center. Once you're center, wag your hips side to side with the abs in and set up on the other side. Other hand by the chest, other hand in your right angle with the elbow in the same plane as the shoulder, keeping the side of the head down, the head turned towards the hand by the chest. The pelvis begins to spiral, so the hips stack, that top leg comes back. If you need to prop it up on a bolster block or pillow, do so. You can point the toes of the leg that's spiraling around, bracing the abdominals here. We're working on the breath, breathing into the stretch. Holding it here. Each exhale takes you deeper into the posture. We'll breathe together with the belly firm at all times, laterally breathing like an opera singer into the side body. Watch out for the tension in the chest, the shoulders, the facial muscles, the jaw, the eyes. Let's soften the eyes, soften the jaw, relax the facial muscles. Let that chest soften, the shoulders plug down, shoulder blades pull together, the belly pull in towards the spine. The toes of that lifted leg are nice and pointed, plantar flexed. Chin is lifted so it's not falling towards the chest. One more minute here. Let's breathe. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. 3 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Final breath here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. From here, we'll move our mat over to the wall. Slowly come out of this stretch. Very, very slowly come out of it. And wag your hips side to side, breathing. Let's go ahead and pull our mat to the wall for legs up the wall to open up our hamstrings. Brace your abs as you bring the legs up the wall. Take one hand under your low back and check that you're not flattening your low back into the floor, but there's a mouse hole between the low back and the floor. Your navel's pulled in towards your spine. Your collarbone is wide. Your chin is lifted. And we're going to be here for the next 2.5 minutes. If at any time it becomes too much, I showed you cat and cow before. You can make your way back into cat and cow. But see if you can challenge yourself to stay here. The hamstrings are an issue, and we want to get into them, release them for increasing our range of motion, improving our functional movement, and balancing the body so we're not overworking that lateral chain and causing back issues, hip issues. You're doing great. Use that breath. Keep checking in with your pelvis. Can you tip the pelvis a little more towards the wall, creating that mouse hole between the low back and the floor? Can you press the mid-back and upper back's ribs into the floor? Plugging the shoulders down, lifting your chin, widening your collarbone, softening your gaze. Keep breathing here. Pull the belly in towards the spine. Watch out for pushing it out. Neutralize that pelvis. Tip it down towards the wall in front of you, really arching that low back. You can play around with the feet pointing and flexing just to get deeper into the calves and the hamstrings. When you flex the toes, just make sure you don't lock out the knees. We want to keep them a little micro bend in them so we don't pull on the joints here. Watch out for rounding in the low back. Again, keep tipping the pelvis towards the wall in front of you, pulling the inner thighs back, bracing your abs, imprinting the mid-back and upper back, wide collarbone, shoulders plugged down the back. Let's breathe our last 30 seconds here together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Slowly, very slowly. We'll roll off to one side with the knees bent and the abs braced. And we're going to get our foam roller. I'm going to give you an option. If foam rolling bothers your neck, if you have any neck issues, I'd like you to take this option. Place the ball under the back of the head and go ahead and take your dominant or tighter leg up first. Other leg can be stretched out long on the floor. Internally rotate this leg on the top of the hip socket and start to take it across the body, stretching out the IT band. Stay here if you have neck or if you have any neck issues. If you don't have neck issues, you can foam roll the dominant or tighter side. And the top hand can be on the hip, behind the head, not in front. You can put it down in front if you need to, just to move, like if you're walking forward or back. But once you find a spot, try to take that hand to the hip or behind the head, twisting forward or back, plugging the shoulders down, always feeling as if your pelvis is being pulled. It's being pulled towards the bottom of the mat or towards your feet, lengthening the side body, those obliques and QL out. Low belly's firm. Watch out for rounding forward in the shoulders. Plug the shoulders down the back. And now's the time to just breathe. Breathing into this dominant side, this posturally tight IT band. And you can always play around with both variations. If you have no neck issues, you can move out of the supine version into the rolling, or you can go from the rolling. When you've had enough with the rolling, you can move back to our supine static variation. Now, if you're in the lying variation, you can always bend and straighten the knee to add a little movement, or point and flex the foot. So I'll show you these variations. Just make sure whatever you do, you don't lock the knee out, and that you keep guiding the hip down towards the floor. Both variations are going to get into that fascia, loosening it up for better range of motion. Let's breathe our final 30 seconds here, wherever you are. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Actually, for the sake of time, that's our last one. We're going to move to our non-dominant or not as tight side. Option to do the supine static version, or add some flexion and plantar flexion, dorsiflexion and plantar flexion of the foot, or bending knee flexion. So bending the knee and straightening without locking out the knee if you're doing that static stretch with the ball under the head, or begin your foam rolling on the other side. Wherever you are, make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're not rounding in the front of the shoulders. You're plugging them down. If you're lying on your back, you're pressing the back ribs into the floor. The belly is always in towards the spine, and each exhale is a chance to actively lift up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee to contract that transverse abdominis, the deepest layer of your core. Fogging a mirror with each exhale, plugging the shoulders down, widening that collarbone. Let's breathe together here. Where's the chin? Make sure it's not dropping towards the chest. Keep it lifted. Always have that gaze a little higher than eye level. Even if you're lying on your back and looking up at the ceiling, look a little higher than looking just straight up. Where the eyes focus affects the back of the neck. And we don't want to crunch the back of the neck. It's already very overworked due to seated posture in front of computers, phones. We've got to alleviate some of that pain by engaging our neck flexors. 30 more seconds here. Let's breathe together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. From here, we're going to move into a supine piriformis stretch. A couple of options. Let's start by assisting the stretch. Grab a loop band. Let's take the heaviest loop band, the gray one, around our not as tight, not as strong leg's thigh, crossing the other foot over that knee, threading the same arm as the leg that has the loop band through it, using it as leverage, taking the rounding out of the low back by tipping the pelvis down. Hold it here. This is our first variation. So you can slide the hand that is not through the loop band. You can under the back to check that there is some space. You don't want the pelvis rounding under. You want to keep tipping it towards the bottom of the mat, creating that mouse hole. Low belly is firm. Then once you have the mouse hole, that hand that's free can go to the inner thigh of the leg that's crossed over top and push it away from you, opening it up even more in the outer hip. So we're breathing here into this nice deep stretch, using our breath. We'll be here for another minute and a half. If this becomes too much, just stay here while I show you the other variation. So I want to get into the same hip or glute as my top leg. So I could take my trigger ball and I could lose that loop band and just keep the figure 4 cross and slide the ball. I may have to spin around so you can see me if I'm not on the right side, but so you can see where I'm placing it under the glute, the outer hip, the butt muscle, into the fascia, and I can do circular motions. I can lean in, dig in, and just get into those knots of the outer hip. So this is also an option if you've had enough of the figure 4 hold. If you're in the figure 4 hold, please point the toes of the crossed foot that's over, and either way you'll be in the cross, so make sure that top foot, the toes are pointed. And let's breathe here, 30 more seconds together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Let's take that loop band back around our dominant or tighter leg's thigh, crossing our non-dominant, not as tight, shin over, pointing the toes, threading the same arm as the bottom leg through that band. Other hand to the low back. Check that you have some extension, a mouse hole between the low back and the floor. Brace your abs. Open the inner thigh of the leg that's crossed away from you. Breathe into this stretch. Now again, if this becomes too much or if you want a different variation, you can grab the trigger ball, but stay here. Stay here for at least another 30 seconds. You want to hold this for at least a minute since it's a posturally tight area. If you can hold it for longer, excellent. But the trigger point work is equally as effective as in releasing the muscles. So I'll let you know when you're at a minute and you have the option of moving into the rolling at that point in time. Brace those abs. We have a minute remaining. Option to move into the trigger ball work. If you do that, you no longer need to hold that band. Still try to find that extension in the low back, so arching the low back with the low belly in towards the spine. Circular motions, digging in, just applying as much pressure as you can tolerate, breathing, keeping the abs engaged, upper back pressing into the floor. Final 30 seconds breathing here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Two more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Let's slowly make our way up. We're going to grab our trigger ball. And again, you can use a foam roller if you do not have a trigger ball for this one. We are going to find this divot between the triceps and the posterior delts. And we're going to roll it out. Start with your dominant or tighter arm. And you're going to dig in, breathing into that fascia as we work into it. Now this can be pretty tender. I'd encourage you to Lean into the wall as much as you can though, so that we really work out the knots. You'll take the arm forward and back. You can internally rotate the arm in the socket, externally rotate it. Now, if doing this standing does not feel like enough pressure, or you're not feeling like you're getting into knots, you can always move to a side lying, but the side lying is really intense. So I'd encourage you to stay at the wall if you're feeling enough of a release or stretch, you're feeling knots. But I'll move to the side lying just so you see what it looks like. So the arm I'm rolling will be on the bottom. I can place a yoga block sideways, or a pillow, or the anti-burst ball under the side of my head. And then I could do the same movement where I move the arm forward and back. I internally or externally rotate it to get into that fascia. We have 1 minute remaining, so be where you are, really working out this tight area. Option for this final minute to move under the armpit where the lat attaches. You can do this side lying or standing. If you're standing or side lying, it'll help to raise the arm up and down. Find that pocket posteriorly, which means behind, under the armpit. So try to not be on bone too much. Obviously, you'll hit bone a little bit, but try to get into a pocket of fascia behind the armpit, behind the bottom of the armpit. And we'll, same idea of moving the arm forward and back, internally and externally rotating it, just to get into the lat fascia where that attaches. Final 30 seconds here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. From here, let's make our way to our posterior delt rolling, standing by the wall on our non-dominant or not as tight side. Option to go immediately to the side lying if you preferred that variation. You know it now, so completely up to you what you'd like to do here. Wherever you are, make sure you're breathing. It's easy with this one if you're standing up, or if you're side lying, to drop your chin to your chest and look at the ball as you're working. Not great for the neck. See if you can take your focus forward and higher than eye level. Plug the shoulders down the back. Try to pull your shoulder blades together. Pull the belly in towards the spine. Stay active through your lower pelvic floor as if you're stopping your stream of pee on each exhale. So obviously we don't pull our belly in to stop our stream of pee, so this is a different action. You have to have your belly in. It's the first step in contracting the deepest layer of your core, but then you lift up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee, which we've all done before, but we've done it with our belly out because we don't need to lift those muscles up and pull the belly in to actually stop the stream of pee. It's this lift to the pelvic floor plus the belly being pulled in towards the spine that gives us that deep abdominal contraction, helping to alleviate chronic back pain, improve posture, and condition the deepest layer of the core. So from here, we've got 30 seconds. You can move into that lat, which attaches under the armpit, getting into that fascia, or you can stay with the posterior delt. Be where you are, internally, externally rotate the arm, pull it forward and back, retracting and protracting the shoulder blades. Watch that the chin doesn't drop, keep it up. Widen the collarbone, pull the shoulder blades together. Hear your breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Making your way onto all fours, your hands and knees, to finish with our cat and cow. Belly is firm. Inhale, arching the back, low back, upper back, looking up at the ceiling. Exhale, round and gazing through the legs. Inhale, arch, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, round, 2, 3, 4. Notice the shins are on the ground, tops of the feet are on the ground, knees are hip distance apart, right under the hips, wrists are right under the shoulders with a micro bend in the elbow. Keep going on that breath. Inhale, arch, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, round, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, cow, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, cat, 2, 3, 4. Final one. Inhale, cow, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, angry cat, 2, 3, 4. Great job.